Stop recording.
Okay, hello guys. I'm using my iPad to do a video because my phone doesn't have enough memory in it. I do have to clean my iPad up a bit
Camera chooser.
later.
Left facing. Speech off.
But I'm not going to tell you the nature of a YouTube channel that I've been listening to, which I thought was pretty good, but then I've realised that actually they've got ulterior motives. I am not going to tell you what has been going on because I don't want to rebuke them publicly. I know there are millions of atheists and agnostics and other religious believers and other believers who don't believe in God and all that sort of thing. I am not going into a debate about that here. All I'm going to say is that there is a YouTube channel by the name of Goose34, so Goose34. I'm not going to tell you anything apart from please be careful, please be cautioned. I'm not going to tell you any more details. If you want to find out for yourself, look him up, Goose34. Otherwise, I'm doing okay. If anybody wants me to do a public rebuke of anybody, I'm not going to, unless I already speak to this person privately, and if they don't listen, like say they're definitely doing something wrong, and they don't take any notice, and you talk to a few others, and then you talk publicly, that's how I'll go about it. Otherwise, I'm not going to be feeding into what some of these people are doing on YouTube. I'm not going to feed into it at all. I will not do it. Intentionally, anyway. Which means if I slip up, I'll just be like, oops, I wasn't meant to be saying anything, so talk about something else. But if I hear of things going on, I'll just say, look, be careful of this channel or that channel, but I've got no interest in willfully blundering other people's channels publicly. I'm going to let people judge for themselves when they look at the channels. Do they like the channel or not? But anyway, suffice to say, I'm not very happy about a couple of things that occurred. Check it out for yourself. Otherwise, I'm doing pretty good. I had to I had to cancel off an agreement of a support worker on Mabel for different reasons. I think your name on YouTube is The Blind Music Mum. If you hear me mention you and you're concerned, would you please WhatsApp me or message me to find out more if you're wanting to know, because I'm not going to say it publicly on YouTube what has happened or what's going on. I'm not going to. I'm absolutely not going to say anything except for privately to an individual person if they're of any concern to my life, which of course the Blind Music Mum is. So if you're wanting to know more, I will privately talk to you. Otherwise, I'm doing really well. I'm going to turn off my braille display, which is right here, and take you out to my beautiful garden. I'm going to take you outside to my beautiful garden and let you have a look at it. I've got to do watering of it soon, actually. I might do it soon. It's quite warm out here. Oh, yeah, it's a bit... No, I don't think it's kind of warm. It's not too bad, but it's still hot enough. I'm going to show you how lovely my garden is. I'm going to walk down this way. hose is in the road. It's definitely in the road. This is the start of my beautiful garden, and we're going to keep walking along. I must remember when I finish these YouTube videos, I've got to delete them off my iPad's camera in order to keep my memory, you know, from running out of, my phone storage from running out of memory. So that's my massive big hose here. Massive. It's right there. Watering can and hose. And this is going along my garden here. Slowly take you along, and that's my big tomato vine. You know, and these are my new plants over here. Plants. That's my new plant cuttings. Right here. Over here. All the way over here is my basil. Right over here. So yeah, that's my garden for you. And I'm doing quite well. Yeah. Oh no, what is, that's water on the chair, it's right there. Water everywhere. It's everywhere. I've had to tip the chair up that way to get the water off because I sat in it. I sat in it, hey? I did. Now it just feels weird sitting in that water. So yeah, yeah, I'm happy now that I've done something about, you know, a few things that needed to be sorted. You know, things needed to happen. Otherwise, yeah, I would have been bloody uncomfortable a lot more. Yeah. I pretty much sat around for the day and spoke to one of the neighbours, and I pretty much haven't done much today after my massive shopping spree last night. Yeah, I needed a bit of a rest. Yeah, I will be doing self-defense in the morning, and next week I'll be deciding how I'm going to get to self-defense. God only knows. A lot changes in 6 months. A lot does. A lot of changes happens. And yeah, what else is going on? What do I do? Oh, birdie. Oh no, I thought I heard a bird. Well, I can hear a lot of birds, but then I heard a gecko too. Basically I will be pretty much doing nothing on Sunday, and next week on Saturday, will I be getting the train? Will I be getting a worker to take me? You know, what will I be doing? Yeah, I think I might end up getting the train next week. Because, you know, I get orientation lessons for a reason, you know. Why not utilise what I've learnt from O&M so that way I can't just, you know, lose my NDIS funding, you know. Anyway, I really need to sort out a few things to do with guide dogs, Queensland, but anyway, it's just to ring them up and talk to them about a couple of things. Otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm going to have to make a few changes in the next 3 or 4 weeks with Mabel because, you know, I need to. But that's okay. Oh my God, someone's noisy. Someone's very noisy. Yeah, I think the way I'm going about things is a bit too wishy-washy and a bit too I'm just letting too many things happen that shouldn't be happening, to be quite honest. I don't want to be totally horrible, but I don't want to be this wishy-washy, everything can just happen how it does. If things, you know, are wrong, that's just how the people are. Oh, you know, I don't have to put a high expectation on what I want from people, blah, blah, blah. Well, I am from now on, because otherwise, if people take an inch, they're going to take a mile, I must say. You know, I don't need carers. I need support people who can help me do this, that and the other. But I need what I want in the NDIS, not what people think I want. Yes, I can say that publicly because I've had support workers tell me things that I've had to correct them on a number of times. So, for people who don't realise, eventually I'll say things publicly if I've had to repeat something more than 3 times to people to correct them for assuming things, and then I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's time to say something, but I just can't mention the particular people, you know. As for some of these YouTube channels out there, look, without going into details about specifics of each channel, I just wish people would learn to get along, and or even if they don't, just say, look, I don't like this channel, and make a comment if you must, but then just leave it. You know, why does conflict need to be stirred up? And you know what? I could do a video reaction if I really want to. You know, everyone else does it. I suppose there's a biblical principle in not rebuking someone publicly. But if someone's going to put something up on YouTube publicly and it's wrong, then I guess I can just publicly say, okay, you're wrong. But that's neither here nor there. I'll do that later when I'm inside. Because I'm also of the biblical principle that if you're outside, other people can understand general chit-chat, but they don't need to hear all of my personal stuff that I've got to say on YouTube unless they want to hear a video themselves. So there are just certain things I would do on my own. If people want to hear it, they will listen. They don't need to be forced to hear what I've got to say when I'm out in the community. But anyway, I think I might do a reaction video later. I've subscribed to channels and then unsubscribed later when I've agreed and disagreed with certain things people say, and then I'm just like, you know what? Blow this. I'm not going to keep on putting up with bullcrap all the time. Yeah. I just take it that people are going to do whatever they want. Let them. Stop turning it into this huge conflict. You know. But with that said, I guess people like video reactions. You know, it's part of the entertainment for YouTube. But it can be sad too. It can be really happy or very sad. It just depends what video you react to. But then conflict is always going to start because it's the internet, it's YouTube. What does one expect? But, you know, it just... yeah. It just comes over my mind like I'm failing to understand why, when someone says something, there has to be conflict. Can't we just say, okay, I don't like what you said and I don't want to know about it? and then just leave them. Like, but no. Things have to go backwards and forwards, and it's like, instead of jumping up and down, just say, oh well, goodbye. But I suppose we all naturally have to jump in and say something, and then everyone else has to do the same thing, because we all need to take a stand on what we believe, which, when you think of it like that, that's okay, I suppose. You know, it's natural, that's what we do. But in saying that, I'm like, why does it then have to become a massive drama? You know, like, listen to all these YouTube channels that have a go at each other's throat. You know, you're not meant to be doing this, and you're not meant to be saying that. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, that's fine, you know. Think what you will, but does it need to become a public disgrace on YouTube? I guess that's what YouTube's all about at the end of the day. But then when it becomes a huge shit fight because someone says this and someone else doesn't agree, and then there becomes factions and denominations within the YouTube community, I just think, oh my god, what side do I pick with today? Whose side do I take today? It's always something new happening. Every single day something new is happening. So I thought I'd put a bit of happiness in my corner of YouTube, knowing these days what we're all like. Someone's going to dislike it. That's fine. You know, everybody has their detractors. But I like to put whatever happiness on my corner of YouTube that I can. And well, I want a bit of peace in my life, so I thought I'd put a bit of peace up on YouTube today. None of us can make everyone happy, but all the people, okay, I must say all the people, and if you need a reaction to understand it, then okay, I'll do a video reaction, I'll do it later, fine. But all the people that say, just pray to God and He'll forgive you, just, you know, do this and do that. Well, no. You kind of need to be a bit committed to being faithful to God. It's not just I'm going to steal money from the bank every day because I need money and I need to do, you know, whatever I want with that money. So I'll just keep on asking God to forgive me for stealing money or committing adultery, or just think of whatever you can do that you think's wrong. I'll just keep asking God to forgive me, but I'm not going to stop doing the wrong thing because I enjoy what I'm doing. And well, you know what? You can slip up. We live in a fallen world. We have fallen nature. People can slip up. But there's slipping up and saying, oops. And then there's complacency. I'll just do whatever I want and I'll be forgiven when I do anything I like because I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work like that. You either believe in Jesus or you don't. You can't be on the fence. I guess you can have certain level of godliness in your life, you know. I always try to attain to some form of it. Godliness as in being a good person. None of us are going to be perfect, but to sit there and say, I'm going to get away with whatever I want to get away with because Jesus will forgive me and take me to heaven even though I continue to do whatever I want. Well, you continue to do whatever you want. I continue to do whatever I want until I have a really bad experience and will never do it again, or until I find out that's totally wrong and sort of wake up one day and think I'll never do that again. Okay? But to sit there and go, nobody's perfect, and so if I keep on lying and stealing and all that sort of stuff, and I don't keep myself in check, and if I swear and curse on purpose because that's just what I do. No, it doesn't work like that. Yes, we can slip up. Yes, we can do things that we ought not to do. It's in Romans chapter 7. But Paul is saying that he does things because he slips up. He doesn't mean it if he does what's wrong and yet he knows what's good. All this other stuff in there. Paul isn't saying, I'm going to get away with whatever I want to do because I know I'll be forgiven. If I just keep on sinning because I enjoy it, it's fine. I'll be forgiven if I ask. Paul is not saying that at all. Stop twisting Paul's scriptures to suit yourself. Anybody out there who does that, stop it. If you slip up and you're sorry, you slip up and you're sorry. But don't twist Paul's scriptures and turn it into what you want to turn it into. Because that's not what Paul wants, and even he warns of that. Can I remember where? No, but I'm telling the truth. Search it in... I need to go look it up myself. It's like I know what I'm talking about, but I have to go and look it up myself in the book, let alone other people to do it. But Paul... one of the apostles says that Paul twists the scriptures. I'm going to go and have a look myself and find out, you know. And then obviously when I do find it, I'll be talking about it. Probably not forever, but like I'll be like, yeah, this is what I was mentioning the other day. But anyway, all of this wishy-washy, I'm going to keep deliberately sinning because I know I'll be forgiven, does not work. You're either deliberately sinning or you are slipping up and not intentionally sinning, you know, not doing it in a way that you mean to be doing the wrong thing. You know, like if, well, I could go on about it for hours, but I won't. You know, if you're forced into a situation where you have to, you know, like you hear on those crime investigation shows and people are forced to do things they don't want to do and they know it's, wrong, but they're forced into it. Well, that's, excuse me. Oh my God. Well, that's just like people in really bad situations. They wouldn't usually do things when they're in their right mind and when they're not in situations with people forcing them to do things that they don't want. But if you sit there and say, I'm going to intentionally steal money today because I need to buy drugs or I need to buy groceries, I just better go and steal some money to get food, you're not going to be forgiven for that. You're basically telling Jesus, oh, I'm going to tell everyone that I'm going to tell you that your death and resurrection is great, but I'm just going to misuse it for what I want because you can, you know, just put up with it and pay for everything I do wrong because that's what you're there for. You're there to be abused and you're there to be misquoted and what's the other word I was saying? Thinking to say, sorry. Telling Jesus, are you there to be played with? No. You're either in it or you're not. Stop sitting on the fence. If people want a reaction to a video, hey, yes, I will. Okay, I'll react. You know, and I don't know everybody's story. I don't know. So when I do a video to react, obviously take in mind that I don't know the other side of this person's story. I do not know you know, why they live the way they do. I don't know why they speak and act the way they do. I can't tell you. You know, I can judge that someone's doing something wrong, but I can't tell you why they're doing something wrong. I can tell you what I think. It could be right, it could be not true, but I'm just going to say, you know, what I know at the time. But, you know, with that said, I can't assume that I know everything about people, but I can say this is right, this is wrong. Can't tell anyone why people are acting like that, you know. Maybe it's because of whatever trauma happened, or any factor really. Anything. Maybe people just don't care. Maybe people don't want to be concerned about anyone but themselves, and if that's the case, wow, okay. But besides that, I don't really have much to complain about. Besides, I'm a bit concerned about a few things. But apart from that, I'm feeling okay, and I'm going to self-defense tomorrow. And I am pretty much just going to keep living my life as I usually do, but I won't tolerate people who push their weight around with me, or try to tell me what they think I want, or try to, you know, push me into situations I don't want to be in. I'm not going to tolerate people like that. So, yeah. With that said, I will do a reaction to a video later. I will react to it, and yes, I'm going to go and have a bit of a look at the Bible to see what it reckons about twisting the scriptures. I need to check it up anyway. I guess if people want to do Bible bashing, I'm okay with Bible bashing as well. I'm perfectly okay with it. As for full-on conflict and fighting and shoving opinions down each other's throat, I'm like, oh, look, whatever. I can disagree with you, you can disagree with me. You know, we can be whatever we want with our opinions, but for heaven's sake, let's just leave it at that. But in all that said, I will be happy to react to videos so long as people can understand that I'm reacting to what I know in my experience, what I believe, what my opinions are. You know, I don't know the other side of this person's story. I don't have a clue. So, I do think everybody sins. I do think nobody is without sin. Anyone who says they're without sin is a liar and the truth isn't in him. I know that's in 1 John chapter 1. I know that for a fact. Read it yourself. You know, you deceive yourself if you say, oh, I don't sin, I don't commit sin. Well, you do. Do you do it willfully? That's the difference. Do you do it willfully? Or do you just slip up and you sin and you're like, oh, you know, you slip up because you just, you know, we all make errors. We all have error of judgment and stuff, you know. There's a difference between you've had a slip up because it's human error and you really are deliberately doing the wrong thing because it's enjoyable, because it's no concern to you to be evil person. Just think whatever you think of as evil, okay? If you don't know that you do anything wrong, then you just don't know. You'll either be aware of it later, or, you know, one day, or never. Well, I can't tell people what's going to happen. I don't have a clue. Otherwise, well, I hope everybody is having a peaceful afternoon, peaceful morning. I don't know what it's like in their part of the world. I wonder how the elections in America are going, who gets in, Trump or Biden. I don't have a clue. I personally can't stand Donald Trump. That's my opinion. I can't stand him. The whys and the hows. No, I'm not going into a 10-hour discussion. I just don't like him. I just don't want to go into a 10-hour discussion about it, that's all. But I can't stand him and I hope he doesn't get in. But hey, who knows? Whatever.
Speak back. But camera should stop recording. Stop recording.